Hello and welcome. It's so great to be back. Um, we are here for Inspire 2021 Day 4, and it's so great to have everybody back. Thank you for answering our opening question. It's fun to hear everyone's favorite parts of Inspire. For me, it's definitely hearing from speakers who I don't always get the chance to make time to listen to, the community that we build, and of course, the learning and things that we bring back to our students. So, for those of you who are joining Inspire 21 for the first time, welcome. I hope you're having a glass of lemonade or a mug of hot chocolate that you guys got in your goodie package from us. If you're coming back, we're glad to have you here for more professional development. I hope that you find something of interest today. So I'm Eileen Frankel. I am here from Young Entrepreneur Institute. I'm proud to say that I've been here for all of the last 7 Inspire conferences as part of the organizing team. And today our theme is improving student learning. It's a broad theme and we've had some amazing speeches so far. We've got some replays for you and some more sessions filled with great resources and great opportunities for learning. We also have the introduction of Yippee, and I know some of you have already heard about this. Some of you have already started to get involved with Yippee, and hopefully we can dig into that a little bit later in the afternoon today. Most of you joined today via the Whova app, and either the app on your mobile phone or the web portal. And the Whova site contains links to all the rest of our great Inspire sessions. We're continuing today in collaboration with Global Entrepreneurship Week, which starts today and continues for the rest of the week. So our sessions today are in combination there, and I hope we're welcoming some guests from Global Entrepreneurship Week. So our core belief here at Young Entrepreneur Institute is that every child should understand and experience entrepreneurship. We know that the skills gained and in entrepreneurial lessons and activities provide great benefits to children, no matter what they do, no matter what endeavor they choose or what work they choose. So we always talk about every student. Here at YEI, the Enspire Conference is our signature program. We also consult with schools and organizations. We manage a number of youth entrepreneurship education programs, and we collaborate with organizations in the same space, the entrepreneurial education ecosystem. So I'm happy to be here with you today, not quite so happy that we're still on Zoom. We just didn't feel like we were ready for an in-person conference. We know that you need to keep your students safe. We need to keep our students safe. There's a lot going around. We've seen it here with our team, particularly with illnesses and children who aren't protected yet. So it just seemed like Zoom was the best way for our meeting today, and it also allowed us to welcome some friends from outside of Northeast Ohio. We're hoping that next year we'll be back in person, but we're getting pretty good at this. So we'll take advantage of that. Here are some quick Zoom reminders. Keep your microphone muted and your camera on if possible. We love to see your face and your reactions. Please use the Zoom chat for comments or questions. Participate if you can, and certainly check the Whova app for downloads available and resources. We will also be sharing resources with you in some of our follow-up emails after the conference. On the agenda today, we have some things that we're calling spotlight sessions. These are short 30-minute sessions focused on narrower topics. The first is the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal with our own Kelly Biggar and Liz Nuskin from the Ohio After School Network. They've had some great experience with this program and happy to share it with all of you. At 4:05, our second session will be hands-on selling opportunities with our own Ariana Smith and Jessica Dragar. We're hoping Jessica will be here today. She is one of those who is home with kiddos who are not feeling well. At 4:35, we'll be showing the Marcia Tate keynote that ran for the first time on Saturday. It's about 1 hour long, and I have to tell you, it was fantastic. really motivating, energizing, upbeat, and chock full of really thoughtful recommendations and very practical. So that theme, 20 instructional strategies that engage the brain and build an entrepreneurial mindset. Lastly, we'll be doing an intro to Yippee for those of you who have not gone through the Yippee introduction yet. We'll be happy to share that, and we might do some hands-on demonstrations as well. But before we jump in, we are going to take you to our Mindset Minute. That's a new session that we have this year. Of course, we mean entrepreneurial mindset. And we have Scott Mann, our partner from Venture Lab. He's the Director of Education and Training. And you guys should have your entrepreneurial mindset cards that you got in your package. If not, there's a downloadable resource. But here to jump in and tell you more is Scott.
Hey, everybody. There's that pack that Eileen was talking about. Thank you, Eileen. Scott Mann here, Director of Education with Venture Lab, fellow lifelong learner, former classroom and out-of-school time instructor. Back with day 4, are we, of the Enspire Conference with our Mindset Minute. So day 4, what we're going to be talking about, I want us to first think about that magnifying glass or a microscope or a telescope, and how those instruments bring into view parts of the world we normally aren't able to see or we can't focus on very well. They help us focus on them. And that's what these entrepreneurial mindsets do. They're lenses. They allow us to see ourselves in the world in new ways. So today I'm bringing you a trifecta of lenses. We're going to be talking about creativity, resourcefulness, and optimism, how they work together. So I was in my 4th year of teaching when I saw these 3 mindsets collide in the mind of one of my students, Jorge. Now, Jorge, y'all, he was the sweetest human being that you've ever met. He was just a sensitive and caring, kind kid, but he had it hard outside and inside the classroom. He came to me several years behind, already disengaged in this learning process that he really didn't feel like he was a part of any longer. And at this point, I had tried some projects with my students, but didn't really know what maker was or design thinking, and definitely hadn't heard of entrepreneurship as a process. Also at that time, my sister-in-law, and thanks to Laura, she sent me an email with a link to a design challenge. So I opened this link, give it a read. I'm thinking, I'll try that tomorrow. So the activity was a small group using basic maker and craft materials, think cardboard, foil, rubber bands, but no tape. And they were to create a prototype of a solution to a challenge, such as I need to carry groceries up a flight of stairs. So on this Thursday afternoon, I divide the kids up into groups, hand out the materials, and set them to work. 15 minutes later, the timer goes off, and I say, okay, time's up. Who wants to go first? Jorge, boom, hands shoots up. I'm like, okay, go for it, Jorge. He literally drags his team to the front of the room, holds up his prototype, and then a smile just comes across his face. And this smile, y'all, is one that I see only at recess or in the cafeteria, maybe in the hallway, definitely not inside the classroom. And he begins to explain their innovation and their prototype with such joy and confidence. And I'm sitting in the back of the room, having this little out-of-body experience, thinking whatever I'm witnessing, I need to happen every day for all my students. The following day, back with Jorge, we're in small group math time. We're working on regrouping again, probably for the 10th or 11th time. And he's just really down about it, getting frustrated. And I'm like, hey, Jorge, you remember yesterday? Remember the creativity and that resourcefulness that you used with only 3 random things? You and your group came up with the most amazing idea. And that process that you went through of working hard, finding that solution, you can do that on this math problem. He looked at me and he looked down at his paper, and I saw that smile come back on his face. And he was looking through that lens of optimism, and he got back to work. And Thinkery Thursday was something that became a block in my schedule from then on. So now, as professionals in the education community, is there anyone more creative and resourceful than you? I mean, every day, and especially recently, you're creating lessons online because you don't have access to your learning space, or you're creating room in your budget because you don't have the same funding as last year. And you probably have a smile on your face like Jorge, right? Well, maybe not all the time, because optimism isn't a rose-colored lens. It's not a blind belief that everything is just going to work out. But you're here, you're at the Enspire Conference, and you've stepped into this space, a possibility. So that tells me that you are confident in your ability to innovate and your potential for making an impact. So throughout today's session and stepping back into the stream of your personal and professional lives, look for and validate your creativity, your resourcefulness, and your optimism. Because hey, you are an entrepreneur. Have a great rest of your session, and I will see y'all tomorrow.
Scott, so fun. I don't know if you're still here. So fun, always great to think of things through a slightly different perspective. And we so appreciate that. And we appreciate these little mindset minutes at the start of Enspire. Now I'm ready to turn it over to Kelly and Liz on the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal.
Thank you, Eileen. We are delighted to be here with you. Thanks to my awesome partner, Liz from the Ohio After School Network for joining me in this endeavor. And she is going to share her screen and bring up some slides for us. So we are going to talk about the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal, Entrepreneurship Pathway. And this is an introduction. We do have a deep dive coming up. We'll tell you at the end of the presentation. So if you want to go deeper, there is an opportunity to do so. But we are delighted to be here. I just also want to point out this logo, this Envision Ed Plus, and that is another partner, Michelle Timmons, that we work closely with and has helped us train and introduce the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal. And I think we're almost up to about 500 people or programs that we've talked to and worked with on the seal. So Liz, if you would be so kind as to introduce yourself and let everybody know what you are doing at OAN and in the entrepreneurship world.
Thanks, Kelly. Hi, everyone. I'm Liz Nuskin. I am with the Ohio After School Network. And OAN, or the Ohio After School Network, is partnering with Young Entrepreneur Institute to bring entrepreneur education to schools and after school programs and summer programs and camps across the state. And that's thanks to the generosity of the Mott Foundation. OAN is a statewide organization that works with the adults who work with kids in out of school time. We know that kids learn and develop all the time, not just when they're in school. So we're excited to bring great resources like Entrepreneur Ed to organizations like libraries and parks and YMCAs and faith-based groups and others. So here's just a little bit about the Ohio After School Network and our website. Come check us out. If you're in Ohio and you work with kids in out of school time, we would love to have you join us.
Thank you, Liz. A quick agenda for today. We've done our introductions, and if anybody feels like introducing themselves in the chat with your name, your school or program, and the grades that you work with, we would love to see who you are out there. Thank you so much for joining us today. Then Liz is going to do an Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal overview, and then we're going to talk about the entrepreneurship education pathway to the seal. And then we'll tell you about supports available and any questions and answers you may have today. So take it away, Liz.
All right, great. So we love sharing this slide with information about jobs of the future from the World Economic Forum. And I think it's interesting not just to look at jobs of the future, but also how they compare with what was prioritized in 2015. So you can see the complex problem solving stays at the top, but look how creativity moves up. Just what Scott was talking to us about, the importance of creativity. So it goes from 10 to 3. Something else that I think is really interesting on here, and it also fits with the entrepreneur mindset and the optimism piece, is the emotional intelligence and how that shows up for the first time. And then you can also look and see how critical thinking moves up from 4 to 2. So it just really reinforces the growing need for us to teach kids and provide them opportunities to learn about the entrepreneurial mindset. So, this is you might recognize some of these from the stickers on Scott's glasses. The entrepreneurial mindsets and skill sets involves a set of attitudes and skills for both hard and soft skills. Since technology is changing the workforce at such a quick pace, we believe it's important to teach an adaptable set of attitudes and skills, not just the fixed workforce skills that you might have thought about. And this aligns very well with the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness seal. So not just those traditional workforce skills like reliability, work ethic, punctuality, discipline, but also learning agility, critical thinking, and problem solving. And I should just say the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness seal is something that is in Ohio. It's part of an alternate, well, we're here, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's a formal designation for high school diplomas. It goes on a transcript as well as a high school student's diploma. And it shows that they have those essential workforce skills. If you're not from Ohio, I bet your state would have something similar. That's maybe part of an alternate pathway to graduation or some other way for kids to, for young people to show that they have those workforce skills. Something that's interesting about this in Ohio is it's validated by 3 mentors in at least 2 settings. So school might be the obvious one, but work and community. And we feel like that community setting fits really well with kids who are in after school programs, because they have mentors, definitely have mentors there. So why the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness seal? Young people can add it to their resume or their college application as evidence that they have these 15 professional skills. I see Kevin has his hand raised. I bet you can talk about this, Kevin. We'll get to you in a second here. In Ohio, we have something called Ohio Business Advisory Councils for districts, and those members of the business community who are in advisory roles are saying that this is something that they really need to see in the workforce. So this is something that they've encouraged. This is also an opportunity for young people to start building their professional networks. And we know that's so important for somebody just getting into the workforce, is to have those adults who can vouch for them and connect them with job opportunities. Students can use it to validate activities that they're already involved in, whether it's this education entrepreneurship pathway or something else that they're already doing in the community. And it's not just a classroom teacher or a classroom setting where they can demonstrate the skills, but it's something that can happen out of school as well. And we really encourage students to own this process. The adults can support them, but the students have to make it happen. And this builds persistence and those opportunity seeking skills. I think that, okay. Let's see here. So this is an overview of what those professional skills are in the Ohio Means Jobs Readiness seal. Just a few that I want to point out. So the drug-free actually is a pledge that a student takes. There's not a drug test, but students are required to sign a statement that says they pledge to be drug-free. And you can look on the Ohio Department of Education website and find out more about what the description of these professional skills are. Professionalism is honesty, acting and dressing appropriately and responsibly, learning from mistakes. That learning agility is a really great fit with the entrepreneurial mindset. Student desires to continuously learn new information and skills. The global intercultural fluency is a way for a student to show that he or she values, respects, and learns from diverse groups of people. And career management shows that a student is a self-advocate. He or she articulates strengths, knowledge, and experiences relevant to success in a job or post-secondary education. And this document it can be found on the Ohio Department of Education website. Kelly, you want to talk about this a little bit?
Sure. Thanks, Liz. This OD provides as a great resource, and it's called their Readiness Seal Rubric. So this is obviously just a screenshot of part of it, but it can give you an idea of the categories that Liz was talking about and kind of the different skill levels. So you can see, what a beginner skill level in the reliability section is, what a developing, expert, and proficient. So the mentors and facilitators can work with the kids to see where they stand and see how far they can get, and just keep working to get better and better at these skill sets. Next slide, Liz. So this actually is, we worked, Liz and myself worked with ODE to come up with an entrepreneurship pathway. So as you can see across the top, there are the rubric criteria and the skills, actually minus the drug-free one, since that's just something that they sign off on. So this is super flexible. You can do it in school, out of school, in an after-school program, in a classroom setting, or even during the summer. So we have a professional learning community, we have videos, we have lots of resources to help support you with this. And students may not necessarily need this as an alternative pathway to graduation, but it could also be an additional credential on their transcript or diploma. And we think it really reinforces how entrepreneurship education supports the development of critical workforce competencies, including all the ones Liz said: learning agility, critical thinking, innovation, oral communication skills, collaboration, and many more. So just to even give you an idea of like a session, so there are 12 sessions, and we went through, and as you can see, the orange blocks are the ones. So the first, an introduction and icebreaker activity, like Scott Mann at Venture Lab just did, would cover a couple of those skills. So teamwork, collaboration, discipline, leadership, global, and intercultural fluency. So you can see where they all fit, and we have 12 of these sessions. Liz and I have actually detailed it all out. So we have a template that you can follow. So session 1 has a bunch of different kinds of icebreakers and activities you can do. Like you can talk about, what is an entrepreneur? What is a pitch? Who are some examples of entrepreneur? Is anybody in your family an entrepreneur? What's the definition of an entrepreneur? Has anybody ever seen Shark Tank? So lots of different, you can see where I'm going, lots of different ways you can introduce entrepreneurship. And in our guide, Liz and I have also given you a ton of different videos if you want to show them, the pint-sized CEO, Tiger Mushroom Farms, Ashley Ammons, Haley Thomas, just lots of different videos for you to show to introduce kids to entrepreneurship. In this exercise too, you'd also be talking about the Ohio Means Job Readiness Seal and what it is and explaining it to the kids. Also, the main event, we kind of do a warm-up, so that setting the stage would be a warm-up. The main event on this one is watching good and bad videos. And in our toolkit, we have several good and bad videos, or you're obviously welcome to check out the web and see what you can find. But having kids watch these, and we have borrowed the term glows and grows from others, and talking to the kids about what kids have done well in these videos and how they can grow in these videos. So we have 2 pipes to a great pitch, and we have lots of different resources that can go along with these good and bad videos. So working with these glows and grows will help kids give and get feedback. And somebody suggested the other day, even as an exercise, is acting out or kind of doing a bad pitch. So it'd be kind of fun for these kids to actually do a bad pitch. And then we also typically do some sort of pitch exercise. And the first one in this is the scripted pitch. So that is in the toolkit. And the kids really just start out by, being able to read a pitch. So they don't have to come up with the material, but, just getting confident, standing in front of people, speaking, being persuasive, using eye contact, pace, things like that. So scripted pitch is the pitching activity. And then we also try to put in, where we put in the first one, some sample vocabulary. So in that one, it's glows and grows, entrepreneur, and pitch. And so for the following ones, we were going to have you actually do your own vocabulary. So easy to do, but fun for you to come up with some of that vocabulary for the kids to work on. And then lastly, we also put some sample reflection questions. So in this one, what questions do you have about entrepreneurship? What more would you like to learn related to entrepreneurship? if you had an idea for a business, what are the next steps you would take to launch it? And again, so you can work on those reflection questions and work with the kids. So it is meant to be, you could do it in person, you can do it virtual, it can be a hybrid, you could do it in 12 weeks, you could do it in a semester. So it's meant to be very flexible, but so you can do it in any sort of circumstance that happens to work for your program or your classroom. And Liz and I are here to help you along the way. So here is the sign off portion of this. So as you can see, you have to get different people to sign off. So you can see the dark boxes where those specific mentors need to verify that the students have done what they're supposed to be doing in terms of the rubric criteria and the skills. So within lessons 2 through 12, there's several activities that connect the student with that work mentor. And then the work mentor then verifies that professionalism and the other items on there. So the school mentor is any teacher in the school who can verify reliability and punctuality within this group or in general. A work mentor can be anybody that the kids find that they are working with, and you'll find throughout the 12 sessions, they do a shadowing, whether it's in person or virtually, but they do some different things with their work mentor. So that person would sign off. And then a school mentor or a teacher, you do need a guidance counselor or somebody affiliated with the school to sign off on that portion. If you're an after school program, the community member can be that after school guide. So that gives you a little bit of idea of sort of signing off and what you have to do. And then hoping that, you know, students will attend all the sessions, show up on time and behave professionally. So it's a well-rounded, you know, these are things that students will need to do out in life to succeed, to show up, to be on time and to participate. So some of the resources available, we do have this 12 session guide that Liz and I are happy to pass along. We kind of have draft on the top because everything we do is sort of a work in progress, and we are always iterating, always trying to make it better, and always looking for your feedback. So happy to send that to anyone. We have some training and some technical assistance coming up, and that is November 17th. And we call it our deep dive because we actually go through all 12 sessions. So anybody that would like to join us, we will put the link in the chat, or you can contact Liz or myself for that. We also have an Entrepreneur Ed professional learning community coming up, and that's November 16th from 10 to 11. And those are once a month. Happy to share those with you. And feel free, anybody, to jump into those anytime. If you can only come to one a year, that's fine. If you want to come to all of them, that's fine. But we are happy to welcome any like-minded people who want to join us in that community. And a lot of times we have some great speakers, we have conversation, a lot of connection. So it's a fun hour if you wish to join us.
All right, Kelly, are you going to?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Liz and I are happy. I was going to show you a quick video just of a winner, just to get you excited about it. But just also want to check in and see, at this point, that was just a super light overview. If anybody has any questions, thoughts, or, you know, if you want to message us in the chat and say, get in contact with me, Liz and I are happy to do that. We are available at any time over Zoom. We're happy to help you go through the guide at any time or help you with other facilitators. So anything that you need in the realm of the Ohio Job Means Readiness Entrepreneurship Seal, Liz and I are here to help. Any questions anybody has? Thanks, Liz. She put in the links, which is awesome. All right, well, let me see if I do share screen. I just thought we could show you one of the winners from the Akron Challenge, or from our Ohio Means our pitch challenge here in Northeast Ohio. And we thought this guy did a great job. Can you guys see my screen? Does it look good? Awesome.
I have that Wi-Fi access. Or maybe just experience the struggle of trying to go to the library and fill out an essay paper to keep up with everyone else in the class. We've all been through it. My name is Dylan West, and I've partnered and created a company called Scholarly Connections. With Scholarly Connections, it gives free, accessible Wi-Fi to everyone in the city of Akron. And not only does this affect scholars of the city of Akron, but it brings more businesses to the community. At Scholarly Connections, we understand that this is bigger than Wi-Fi, that this connects communities and families, and this connects the city of Akron as a whole. If you would love to be a part of this change, all you have to do is click the link in the description. It'll surely change the world someday, and we believe that we can give Akron and the people of Akron Wi-Fi for all, free of no charge, because education and connecting families should never be charged. Thank you for supporting us, and click the link in the description. Thanks for having me.
We thought he did a great job. Oops.
Have you ever been confused by complex scientific diagrams?
Are you guys ready for me? Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Liz, did you have a wrap up?
My apologies, the videos kept going because I was on our YouTube channel. So if anybody wants to see any more videos, there's a Young Entrepreneur YouTube channel, and it is out there for anybody to look at. And Liz also has videos on her Ohio After School Network, known as OAN, on her YouTube channel. So feel free to use those videos to show your kids and use them in your teaching methods. But thank you so much for having the two of us today. We certainly appreciate it. And again, happy to help with anything you need in that realm. So enjoy the rest of the day and the Enspire Conference. We're thrilled to have you.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Liz. I'm still stuck on that learning agility. I do not think that that is a word that would describe anything that I would have been told when I was in high school or college, that I need to have learning agility, but how important it is as we see how quick the world is changing. We also see how much that certain students really benefit from working as opposed to the skills that are needed to succeed in school. And it's great that we have this pathway where kids who do a really good job working and do a really good job with project-based learning can find a pathway to graduation that's different from standardized tests. We learned from our assessment panel that there are so many better ways to assess whether kids have the skills they need than to take a bubble test and test their memorization. That is not what we need in our 21st century. So how wonderful that this program exists for students to build their skills. So with that, thank you. Let's move on to our next session. We have Ariana Smith, who is here to talk about hands-on selling opportunities for students and how educators can help students get ready.
Thanks, Eileen. So like Eileen mentioned, my name is Ariana Smith. I am a program coordinator here at the Young Entrepreneur Institute. My name may seem familiar because you probably received several emails from me in regards to Enspire. So what we're going to be talking about today is the opportunities that we have for students and educators to experience regarding those hands-on selling opportunities. To give you a little bit about me, in addition to handling some of the logistics for Enspire, I also work closely with Jessica Dragar on our Young Entrepreneur Market and our Lemonade Day programs. I was also a young entrepreneur at the age of 12. So being on the other side of things and helping to prepare students, I feel like it's been something that's been in the cards for me for a while now. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so I can share with you a presentation that I put together about some of these opportunities that we do have available for educators. Let me just make sure we're fully connected here. Awesome. Are you able to see my screen? Perfect. Okay, so one of the most popular programs that we have is our Young Entrepreneur Market program. It is focused for students anywhere between kindergarten through 12th grade, and it's an opportunity for students to really experience that hands-on selling opportunity. In Northeast Ohio in particular, we have partnerships with about 7 different markets where we allow students to sign up and actually sell in person at these markets. The reason why this is incredible is because a lot of the times when we're teaching students about the importance of entrepreneurship or about what it means to be an entrepreneur, they're not fully understanding it because they're not actually doing it. And we know one thing with students, a lot of students are better with being hands-on learners. So with the Young Entrepreneur Market, all assistance is provided for students. So when they go to sign up on our website, for those that are located within Northeast Ohio, we have a conference call with them beforehand to make sure that these students are completely prepared prior to their selling event day. Some of those conversations will look like us first asking students, what is your why for actually wanting to sell at this market? The reason why we ask this question and why it's so important is because when you have a why, students are able to be more persistent and more focused with trying to reach those selling goals when they're actually at these market locations. In addition, it's actually a talking point that students can also use with potential customers when they come to the table. With our young entrepreneur market in particular, you have to think about the fact that a lot of students, we go back to the fact that certain students don't have that hands-on selling opportunity. So outside of the obvious things like they're going to learn about how to price their products, they're going to learn how to develop an actual product, how to package it and sell it. There are a lot of additional lessons and opportunities that students are also able to learn with these hands-on selling experiences, such as public speaking, them really learning or leaning into the creativity piece, the customer service experience, and it's a confidence builder. When you have students that are standing at the table and they're getting customers that actually want to buy their products, what better feeling is that, knowing that something that you created, someone else is going to actually enjoy and love? For those educators that have actually experienced one of our markets or have had one of their students experience the market, go ahead and drop in the chat for me, please. That way we can just kind of see how far that reach has occurred or has grown. Some of the products that some of our students also sell, we have like bracelets, they'll have hand sanitizer, there's body scrubs, there's masks. So what those products can look like truly is a range based off of what those students' interest levels are. Now, as an educator, one thing that we can do for you, even if you are outside of Northeast Ohio, there is an opportunity for you to schedule a consultation with myself and or Jessica. That way we can show you how you can actually set up your own market experience for your students if you're not within our Northeast Ohio area. In addition to that, there is an opportunity for you to also get a startup kit for your market experience for your student. So that can look like us potentially assisting with providing different supplies. That way your students are able to create products to sell at a market, or additional supplies that are needed to help you actually create that market experience for your students. One thing that we have seen for educators that choose this option that works very, very well is planning the market experience along with an event that may be going on at your school. So for instance, if there's a band concert occurring that night, having students set up to sell at that concert is the perfect opportunity, not only for their fellow students to see what's going on, but also for them to really get that experience on how to sell and pitch their product ideas. The way that you're able to actually schedule a consultation with us is through our new online platform with Yippee. So when you go online and you register as an educator on Yippee, there is an opportunity for you to schedule that consultation with myself and Jessica, and then also utilize some of your points that you earn to be able to earn some of those supplies to start this market experience for your classroom. If you have any type of general questions in regards to our young entrepreneur market or what that looks like, you can also email us directly at yeimarkets@us.edu. Now, another part or program option that we have for you for that hands-on selling experience for students to really learn is our Lemonade Day program, especially for your younger students. Not only is this a program where students are also able to earn or gain that hands-on learning experience, but as an educator, we also provide you not only with the curriculum to use, but also workbooks that can be used for your students in the classroom. Here's an example of two of the workbooks that we do have available. We have a youth-specific workbook and also a teen workbook based off of the age level of the students in your class. One of the great things about our Lemonade Day program as well is you're able to customize it to best fit the needs of your classroom. So yes, that means you do not have to sell lemonade in order for your students to be a part of this. Depending on the time of year you choose to push out a program like this, you can even choose it to be hot chocolate, tea, whatever other little items that you know are going to sell as well for you. Along with Lemonade Day, similar to our young entrepreneur market, you can go to yippee.exchange to access information about how you can schedule a consultation with us and how you can also get some startup supplies so that your students can really have this amazing Lemonade Day experience. Now, let's go into GIPPY. You've heard a little bit about this. You'll hear more about this before the end of the day today. But GIPPY, as you see on the screen, stands for Youth, Ideas, Products, Points, Entrepreneurs Exchange. It is a free online marketplace that has been created for educators or product providers just like yourselves, where you can access these entrepreneurship resources. They're all in one place. We vetted these resources to make them available for your students in your classroom specifically. So as you're earning points and as you get points for even being a part of the Enspire Conference, you're able to utilize these points in the marketplace to be able to earn and utilize some of these products that we have available for you. I do want to share with you all a quick video. This is Jessica Dragar, who is the program manager for our Lemonade Day and Young Entrepreneur Market program. In this video, we're really talking about the Young Entrepreneur Market and highlighting some of the success stories and hearing some words from fellow students that are or have been a part of our Young Entrepreneur Market.
Hi, I'm Jessica Dragar, the program manager for the Young Entrepreneur Market at the Young Entrepreneur Institute. The Young Entrepreneur Market is a program that provides kindergarten through 12th grade students an opportunity to start a business and sell out in the community. Entrepreneur is a big word, and sometimes people don't quite understand what it means. An entrepreneur is a risk taker, creative thinker, problem solver, and opportunity-seeking go-getter. At YI, we're helping to make their big ideas a reality.
My name is Drew. I go to Woodrow School and I'm in 6th grade. I own Drew's Workshop and I make wood products such as these coasters, these cherry cutting boards, and these tools.
Hi, my name is Michael Matthews. I'm 15 years old. I go to university school, and my business name is Mike's Lawn Care, and the service that I do is cutting grass around the greater Cleveland area.
Hi, I'm Rock. I'm 13 years old. I'm in 7th grade and I go to Whitman School. The business I own is Rocco's Rainbows, featuring super duper tie-dye. My two best sellers are shirts and socks.
Hi, I'm Raina, and I'm 9 in 3rd grade at Mandel JDS. Hi, I'm Romy, and I'm 9 in 3rd grade at Mandel JDS. Hi, I'm Roselle, and I'm 6 in 1st grade at Mandel JDS. And we own the Sunshine Sisters and make mask chains, necklaces, and bracelets. Our products are special because they have inspirational message on them, like be bold and courage.
By participating in the Young Entrepreneur Market, students can experience entrepreneurship at an early age to help develop important 21st century skills, all while having fun and earning money along the way.
I have learned to greet people with expression and use my math skills to calculate the change.
Selling experiences help to develop the mindset that will prepare students for future success, regardless of what career path they choose. The lessons learned at farmers markets and community events are invaluable as student entrepreneurs then become mentors themselves, sharing words of advice and success.
Advice I would give to a new entrepreneur would be invest in your company so it can grow, marketing so people know about you, and quality so people come back.
The advice that I would give for a starting entrepreneur is to stick with your idea and don't be afraid if there's a need to change your idea, and always be open to new ideas and others around you influencing your ideas, and also be aware of what's going on around you socially and what is trending.
In Northeast Ohio, students can participate in the Young Entrepreneur Market as an individual or with their class and with the guidance of an educator. We provide the vendor space, tent, and table. All you have to do is reserve a date, bring the handmade product, and your best smile. Our team can also help you organize a selling event on site at your school. If you aren't local, we're happy to help get you started on how to bring the Young Entrepreneur Market experience to your community.
Thank you, young entrepreneurs, market for an opportunity of a lifetime. I wouldn't have grown my business without you.
Awesome. So before I go back to, or we go into what the rest of the week looks like for Enspire, another thing that I really wanted to touch on is really how to set these students best up for success. As you all could see in these videos, they talk about having confidence when going to sell and they're talking about their products, right? You can see how their tables are set up. We know that this process doesn't occur overnight. So when we have these conversations with students, or if you as an educator are setting up your own young entrepreneur market for your students, one of the things that I've used that I've really seen success with helping students know what it means to set up and have a successful business is to look through things through the lens of what I call SUPA. I know it sounds weird. I'm going to break it down for you, I promise. So the S in SUPA stands for sellable. If you have a student who doesn't already have a business, that's perfectly fine. The lens I like for students to think about is how can we create a product that other people actually want to buy? The U in SUPA stands for unique. We know that there are a lot of products that are already out there. There are a lot of different body scrubs. There are a lot of different hand sanitizers. There's a lot of different bracelets. However, what is it about that student's product that makes it unique? How is it going to stand out from what's already out there on the market? Or what is it about that student's story and their why that's going to make it stand out where they have a customer that is willing to buy and want to purchase and support that student's business? The next letter in SUPA that I explained to students is the first P. That P stands for problem solving. When you're creating a product or when you're thinking about starting a business as an entrepreneur, you are either solving a problem that people are having or you're meeting some type of a need. A business can't be successful if it's creating problems for potential customers because no one's going to want to actually buy it. So having students start to think of a way that they're able to solve another person's problem is another way to ensure that that student's business is actually going to be able to be successful. The second P in SUPA is profitable. One of the things that we talk with students about, especially when we're having those initial conversations, is how are you going to actually price the item that you're selling? We walk through with them about how much it costs them to actually make or create that item, how many or the quantity, depending on what the item is that they're trying to sell, and what is it going to make sense for them to sell it at, for them to make some type of a profit, and so that they can reach that goal of their why for starting their business to begin with. The last letter in SUPA that students learn is A for aligned. So how does everything align with one another and how does it make sense? If they have a business that's called Candy Creations, but instead they're selling dog treats, it's probably not going to be aligned as a business. So they want it to make sense. That way, when their customers not only see their name, their product matches along with that they're actually trying to sell. Again, it's a way for that product recognition to happen for customers and for them to want to actually buy those products. So again, the S is sellable, the U, unique, the first P, problem solving, the second, profitable, and the last, aligned. If looking at the rest of the week as well for Global Entrepreneurship Week and for our Enspire Conference, we have a few other sessions that you should tune into if you have not already. Tomorrow, we'll be talking a little bit about our Young Entrepreneur Pitch Challenge and about It's a Real Problem, with an encore session from AJ Giuliani and John Spencer with our Enspire Conference. Wednesday, we'll talk more about our Yippee Marketplace. For those educators that were not here on Saturday when we initially rolled it out, this will be the perfect opportunity for you to learn even more about what our marketplace looks like and how you'll be able to use it in your classroom, as well as talking a little bit about entrepreneurship education. On Thursday, we'll also be having our Kidpreneur Day. So really focusing on this youth entrepreneurship aspect and the ways that these students are starting successful businesses in collaboration with Waggy Labs and Venture Lab. If you have any questions for me directly, I can be reached at asmith@us.edu. Or if you have any questions for me currently, please feel free to put it in the chat. Go ahead and stop sharing my screen here momentarily. And then if you don't have any questions, thank you so much. We appreciate your time here today with the Enspire Conference, and we look forward to continued partnerships.
Thank you, Ari. We will continue to look for questions. It's so great to have your experience as a trainer, your experience as a young entrepreneur yourself, and certainly your enthusiasm for entrepreneurship that you bring. Ari is new to our team. She joined in the spring, and she brings a lot of experience herself as an entrepreneur, and we are just so thrilled to have her. You can see that she works really well with kids as well. Getting some love for you in the chat, Ari. So, but I don't see any questions. So with that,
oh, sorry, I did see one question. I think that was sent to me directly, but great question, just in case anyone else has it. They asked who funds the hand-on selling programming. So traditionally the students or parents, obviously, because parents are the ones working, will help students to be able to buy those products. However, if you do have the opportunity to use some of your points in Yippee, there is also the opportunity for educators to earn money. That way they're able to buy some startup supplies for students that are looking to create that market's experience. So when you do schedule that consultation with us, we'll be able to talk a little bit more about those details and what that would require.
That's right. We don't want the expense of entrepreneurship to ever get in the way. We have generous funding from the Burton D. Morgan Foundation that supports most of the programs that we run. And we also have the opportunity to let you borrow money from us, and students learn what it means to take a loan. We would talk with you and your students about what are the loan proceeds going to be used for, and then make sure that there is the understanding that the first amount of revenue from your sale of products has to go back to paying us back, which is a wonderful lesson on the difference between revenue and profit and how you have to pay back your investors. So please don't let a concern about startup funding get in the way of considering this program. Great question. So speaking of the Burton Morgan Foundation, I really did want to remind everyone that the Enspire Conference is a partnership of Young Entrepreneur Institute and Burton D. Morgan Foundation. For the past 7 years, Enspire has brought so many great speakers, really incredible speakers, to Northeast Ohio, whether in person or virtually. And it's been a wonderful way for our community of entrepreneurial educators and educators new to this space to come together, learn together, and acquire resources to help students engage in entrepreneurial thinking. So we always want to make sure that we are sharing with you our appreciation for the Burton D. Morgan Foundation and their team, who partners with us on the planning for Enspire, on the funding for Enspire, certainly the vision that Northeast Ohio should be a region that has a leading entrepreneurial education community. So the Morgan Foundation has helped to build an amazing ecosystem here in Northeast Ohio of entrepreneurs, of higher education educators at colleges, K-12 schools, and education providers who all work together. This is a model that is copied around the country as well as around the world. At YEI, we're grateful to their support, and the leader behind the foundation is Deb Hoover, the president and CEO, and she is going to lead us into an introduction to our speaker, which is an encore presentation recorded from Saturday. I remind you, it was truly wonderful. It's about 1 hour long. We'll see you on the other side to talk a little bit more about Yippee, but please enjoy Marcia Tate.